how to have that particular small talk with your boss, the impressive small talk with your boss, so that you can have a great conversation skills, you can have a great communication skills and use it. Hello everybody, how are you all? Hope you're doing great. So welcome back to another session of improving your English speaking skills and your conversation skills with me. So today's video is focused totally on your conversation and your communication skills, which are very important. And today I'm going to talk about how to have perfect small talk with your boss. Small talk with boss, a very important skill that you must possess when it comes to conversations at workplace. So are you all ready for this? I'm Shivangi Gupta, your CELTA certified English language tutor, certified by the University of Cambridge, the UK. And before beginning, please subscribe the channel so that you do not miss out on any lesson that I post for you on the channel. Please like the video and share it with your friends too. Now coming back to today's lesson, small talk with boss. Is it okay to have a small talk with your boss? Because boss is boss. He is the senior most person, someone you report to, someone who is your direct employer. Now, how to talk to boss, how to have that perfect small talk with boss, because small talk is informal kind of talk, informal conversation used to initiate conversation in some kind of event. Whenever you want to have a conversation with somebody, you use it at that particular time. And we have already created a particular series of small talk. In the previous lesson of small talk, we covered small talk with friends, how to have the perfect small talk with friends. And today I'm going to tell you how to have that perfect small talk with boss, because workplace conversations are very important for you to excel in your career, isn't it? So that is why I have this particular topic for you, the big dilemma, whether to have that small talk with the boss or not. Well, the answer is surprisingly both yes and no. Both yes and no. The thing is that yes, you can have small talk with your boss. What's the problem? What's the issue? Definitely you can have small talk with your boss, but can you have it anytime, anywhere, just like that? No. The answer is no. Definitely not. You cannot have small talk with your boss in the similar way you have small talk with your colleague. Definitely not. The way you approach that small talk, the timing, the place, everything needs to be taken care of, because your professional relationship with your boss is something else. Boss is your senior, more experienced senior, whereas colleagues are your kind of like classmates in college, right? When you're in college, you have classmates and then you have teacher. That is the kind of relationship you have similarly in office with your colleagues and the boss. So boss is the leader, someone you report to. Colleagues are your workmates. They are at the same position as you. So that is why the way you have small talk with them is different, and way you have that small talk with your boss is different. And in today's lesson, we are going to talk all about the situations in which you should avoid small talk and the situations in which you can go have a great small talk with your boss. So let's begin with the situation you must avoid, so that you can understand the situations that are an opportunity for you in a better way. We should always cover the areas which we need to avoid first, so that we can have a bigger opportunity in front of our eyes, right? So let's start with the situations you must avoid, situations where small talk would actually make you look very unprofessional. Small talk with your boss would make you look unprofessional. Let's begin with that part of the lesson. So coming to the section number 1 of this particular lesson, that is the small talk with your boss, in which situations you should avoid it. Avoid small talk with your boss, a big no. Now, the situation number 1 is, the first situation is any staff meeting or business meeting. So staff meetings and business meetings are basically the situations in which you should totally avoid small talk. Now, why you should avoid small talk? Because whenever you are in a meeting, a particular meeting is because you have to talk about a particular issue, a project. It's something serious. The opportunity to start small talk is in the hands of the leader, the presenter. And when you are having that particular meeting with your boss, maybe a group meeting, a staff meeting with your boss, a business meeting where other presenters are also there, where other colleagues are also there, what you're supposed to do is you can have a small talk with your colleagues before the arrival of the boss. That is totally acceptable. Having small talk with your colleagues in that waiting period, waiting time till the leader, the boss arrives, till the presenter arrives is totally okay. It's totally acceptable. But once that person arrives, whether to initiate that small talk or not is in the hands of the presenter, the leader, the one who is going to lead that particular meeting. If that person is in a good mood and want to initiate a small talk, definitely you can chime in. That means you can reply with something of yours. That is totally fine. Taking forward that small talk is allowed. But initiating small talk in such situation is not considered professional, because it's in the hand of that presenter, whether the leader, whether the boss wants to initiate that small talk or not. Maybe the issue is something serious, maybe it's about a new project. When it's about a new project, the boss might be in a very good mood and he or she might want to start a small talk with all of you sitting inside that particular room for the meeting. Maybe there is some kind of issue which is serious, which needs to be addressed pronto. What would happen is, at that particular time, the boss would not be in the mood of small talk, because the whole attention is on this particular issue and getting it solved at earliest. So at that particular time, if you start a small talk, imagine, it would look so unprofessional. That is why we should always leave it on the boss, on the leader, on the presenter to start the small talk or not if they wish to. You never do it. You are not supposed to start that small talk when you are in a business meeting or you are in a staff meeting. Situation number two. Situation number two where you need to avoid small talk is the presentations. Formal presentations. If you're about to present something related to a project, maybe a report, then you are not supposed to start with the small talk. You're supposed to start directly with the introduction and all. Greeting, introduction, and your presentation, right? Generally, how you give a presentation. Now, if the assessors, the management team, your boss wants to start a small talk and it's initiating a small talk, right? How are you feeling? Are you nervous? And to make the environment light, if they are doing it, that's totally fine. You go with the flow. If they are starting the small talk, that's totally fine. You can carry it forward. Do not carry it too much. Try to keep it small and end it. So that is what you're supposed to do. They are just trying to make you feel good about the situation. They are trying to make you feel relaxed. A sign of a very good leader and a great boss that you have if they are doing this for you. So if they are starting that particular small talk, that's totally fine. Go with the flow and start it. But you do not start a small talk in this kind of formal situation. You're giving a presentation that's a highly formal situation. You're there to present, not for a conversation, not to start a small talk. So in that particular situation, you need to avoid it at all costs. Situation number three in which you need to avoid small talk is when you approach the boss or the boss approaches you for some kind of work related issue. So for example, you're approaching the boss to submit a particular report. When you're approaching them, do not start a small talk. If you are approaching the boss for some kind of application, you want to submit a kind of application, it can be any kind of application, maybe for leave, maybe something else, maybe anything, it could be anything. So whenever you are submitting that application, you are approaching the boss for some kind of work related, office related work, some project related work. If it is about work, then do not start small talk. If the boss has called you to maybe ask you about a project, maybe to get an update from you, if it's a serious issue, that means you are not supposed to start the small talk. Even if it's a normal talk about the work that you're doing. For example, the boss calls you to ask about this particular project, maybe there is some kind of confusion about something and he calls you up or she calls you up to clear that particular thing. You're not supposed to start the small talk. You're approaching them during the work hours and you're going to talk something related to work. This is a formal situation in which you need to show your professionalism. So here you have to stay professional, highly professional and formal. Whatever is the question, address that. Do not try to start that small talk. Greeting and then whatever boss wants to talk to you, that is the topic which has to be focused, right? So that is why do not start any small talk in this particular situation. If you are visiting their office for some work related conversation where they want to have a conversation with you regarding some kind of confusion, query, anything, do not start small talk. While you're leaving, if your boss asks you something that is not work related, totally fine, reply. And if you're engaging in some other kind of conversation, totally fine, that's totally fine. But you're approaching them, that is not a small talk. While approaching, do not start any small talk. So these were the situations in which you should avoid small talk. Now let's come to the section number 2, part 2 of this particular lesson, where it's totally fine for you to go and have a great small talk with your boss. So do you want to know in which situations can you approach your boss and start a small talk with them? Let's find out. Okay, coming to the part 2 of this particular lesson. Now this is my favorite because I'm gonna tell you in which situations it's okay for you to have small talk with your boss. And situation number 1 is if you meet them in elevator or if you meet them randomly in any other part of the building, just like that. That means if you bump into your boss at any time of the day, it's not in the office, it's not specifically pre-decide related to a particular topic. No, just like that, you're meeting them, you can definitely start small talk. In fact, if you are meeting them surprisingly, if you have bumped into them in your day, anytime from the day, and surprisingly they are in front of you and you get an opportunity to meet them just like that randomly, it's random, it's not related to work, it's not just like that randomly, you meet them maybe in the canteen, maybe outside in the corridor, maybe in the elevator, you can have small talk, and the etiquette says that you should greet them and have a small talk. Just asking about their day is a great way to start a small talk with your boss. So it's totally fine for you to have a small talk whenever you are meeting them randomly throughout the day, just randomly at random places in the office, which are not considered to be formal places, or it's not a formal situation, it's an informal situation, right? So in an informal situation, the etiquette says that you should start a small talk. It's not like you can start a small talk, you should start a small talk, because this shows a good conversation in human behavior. Like, you want to give respect to the other person because they are in a senior position than you, they are your boss, they are in a senior position. That is why you want to give some respect to the other person. Starting that small talk, initiating that small talk could be a sign to show respect towards the other person, and hence they'll be also impressed by you because you get to display your conversation skills, and everybody likes a person who has good conversation skills. So this is an opportunity, go grab it. Situation number 2 is office party or office events. So if you're going to an office related party, a work related event, an event that is organized by your particular company, the company you're working for, your boss will be there. So you're arriving there as somebody who's representing that particular company. Now you're not inside that particular building which defines your workplace. That is not your workplace. So right now you are having a particular event. In that particular event, when you meet your boss, you are supposed to start with the small talk, initiate that small talk. Just asking about how they are liking, how the event is going on, did they like the arrangements and all that. That can be also a great way to start that small talk. So asking about their day, how it's going, did they like the event, are they excited about the event, that is something that you can ask them. That is also a great way to start small talk, something related to the event, something that you're attending. So basically it's going to be a small talk, yet you are not deviating from the topic, because after all it's an office party and an office event where you are with your boss. So yeah, it's a great way to initiate small talk with your boss. Situation number 3. Now last situation where you can start small talk with your boss is if you're meeting them outside, maybe in any networking event, or you're meeting them outside at any public place. It can be a cafe, it can be in the marketplace, it can be at a mall. You might bump into them. It's not like you're always going to meet them at the office. Maybe you are visiting a mall with your family at the weekend and there you meet your boss. Go initiate that small talk, because again, it's a matter of showing respect towards your senior. Your boss is your senior, so you must approach them. That's professional. Now in this particular situation, because you are at a highly informal place, you are at a public place, right, and you're meeting them unexpectedly, so it is supposed to be addressed with a small talk. You should approach your boss and initiate the small talk, because that shows your good behavior towards them, respectful behavior towards them. Imagine that you are at a public place and somebody who's a fresher, maybe your junior, you bump into them at a public place. Now they are just saying hi, hello, and randomly, and they are not trying to talk to you, and they go away. You would feel bad about it, like as if the person ignored you, don't you? Maybe that fresher might have felt, oh my god, this is my senior, how could I talk to them, what to say, should I say this or not? That kind of thoughts must be going on inside the mind. The similar thoughts you have when you accidentally bump into your boss at any such public place. Same thoughts are going on, but you do not know this, and you would think that what kind of person is this, he or she did not talk to me, and this and that. You might think about that person like that. You might consider them rude, but in reality they were not rude. They were just apprehensive, or they were just not sure that whether they should approach you, whether it's respectable or not. So here I am telling you that the most respectable thing to do is go approach your boss and start that small talk. They would feel good about it, and they would feel that yes, this person is a great person. Look at the communication skills, the conversation skills. You'll impress them too. So go initiate that small talk. So these were all the situations in which you can start the small talk with your boss. This was the session on how to have that particular small talk with your boss. The impressive small talk with your boss, so that you can have a great conversation skills, you can have a great communication skills, and use it at your workplace and to impress your boss too. So these are the communication skills for workplace for you. That's it. That was today's lesson. Now I'm gonna meet you again in a new lesson. Till then, everybody, take care and bye.